Each of you have been given and assigned this floor plan interactive worksheet, and this is what I went over in class with you. When you open up this interactive worksheet, it's a Google slide, but it's set up to be at 8.5 by 11. It's made up of 3 sheets. Third sheet is an example of a completed floor plan, just to kind of give you a guide in terms of how these pieces can be used. All of these pieces here are interactive, meaning that you can highlight them and move them. You can rotate them. That's true of everything on this worksheet. The main part of the worksheet, which is here on the left, is a blank sheet, and then also a sheet with individual things for you to arrange onto the blank sheet. We have outside walls, which represent 6 inches thick, and we have some inside walls that represent 5 inches thick. We also have lots of different items that you can put in your house. These are doors. These are sliding glass patio doors. This door here is something called a pocket door. This door here is a 4-foot bifold door. The one below it is a 6-foot bifold door. Over here are things that would go into the bathroom. We have different types of sinks, a toilet, jacuzzi tub or regular tub, 2 different kinds of shower stalls. This little part that comes out on the side, and in this case in the front, indicates the door. So the door to the shower stall. We also have kitchen appliances. These are different types of sinks, a washer and dryer, different refrigerator sizes. We have here kitchen chairs. Down at the bottom here are different stove configurations. Then we also have some sofas and easy chairs. We have kind of a lounge chair with an ottoman. This right here is a piano. Over here are fireplaces. These again are different configurations. This is the smallest of the fireplaces, and then we have a slightly larger one, and then kind of a corner fireplace right here. We also have different sized beds. And one of the things you'll notice is if you zoom in on these, the shortcut, just so you know, is Option Command plus to zoom in. You'll see that these are also labeled. If you zoom in a little bit, you'll be able to see that. So here we have a twin bed, a double bed, a queen, and a king. To zoom out, we do Option Command negative. So that's how you can zoom in and out of this particular worksheet. We also have plants over here. Here is our main sheet. One of the things that I showed you was that I've set up this worksheet so that it has a grid in which 1 square equals a foot, and that's known as scale. The scale can be turned on by going up to View, going to Guides, and click Show Guides. The guides will show up, just like in a piece of graph paper, in which 1 of the squares equals a 1/4 inch, and that's kind of standard. So, and that's a typical scale that architects use when drawing drawings or laying anything out. And it's kind of easy to use because 6 inches would basically be half of a square. So it's very easy to kind of work with this as a unit of measurement. These pieces are scaled already to our 1/4 scale. Right here you have outside walls and you have inside walls. If you are ready to put together your house, you can click on the individual wall, edit, copy, or the shortcut is Command C. Then you would click to your blank document, edit, paste, or Command V. Here we have a wall. Maybe this wall is too big for your house. You may want to shorten it. It is 9 times 4, 36 feet, because it starts at the 1. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each inch has 4 quarters in it. Then it's 9 times 4, so that's 36. So that's how you would know how many feet it is. Or of course you could just count the squares. Maybe this isn't the right size, so I want to modify this. In order to modify anything in Google Slides, some of you have had me for exploratory or for some other class. You know that I use Google Drawing quite a bit. So a lot of the same things that you can do in Google Drawing, most of them, you can do in Google Slides as well. Let's say I want to move this back to 20 feet, and so I need to move it back to the 5 mark. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to click on the line to select it. I'm going to hold the Shift key and mouse over the end of that line on the blue dot. I'm holding the Shift key down, and when I click off of my mouse and then let go of the Shift key, it will bring that right to the area that I want without moving the line. So this is the first wall, but as a reminder, I just want to make sure that you know that you are not limited to doing a rectangle as shown in the example. You can do any configuration that you'd like. In the presentation, I showed you a few different types of houses that other students did, and you'll see here that there might be a main rectangle area, but then you can also combine that with other types of shapes. The limitation being that it needs to be 500 square feet, just a little bit over or under 500 square feet. The examples where you can see combinations of different kinds of square footage you could use is located in the 500 square foot space ratios sheet that is included in the assignment. You can use these ratios or make up your own. So back to our worksheet, if I want to duplicate this wall, I can click it, go up to Edit, Copy, and then Edit, Paste, and then I can move that wall into position. And again, to make it longer or shorter, I can mouse over the blue dot, hold the Shift key, and then make that line larger or smaller as I want to. Keep in mind that holding the Shift key is really important because it keeps the line from getting out of whack. You'll notice if I don't hold the Shift key, the line is loose and can kind of move around on its own. By holding the Shift key, I'm locking that into place. To rotate a wall, select the object, click Format Options, and here you can flip it 90 degrees. And then I'm going to go ahead and put that in position. I'm going to zoom in because I want to make sure that everything is lined up. You can see here that this is 7 feet, but I need these two lines to connect. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the line, mouse over that blue dot, hold the Shift key, and I'm going to bring that line up just a little bit so that it meets at the edge. So here I want to show you a different configuration that I just made. It takes a little bit of calculating, but basically what I've done is I've created 2 rectangles. One is 23 feet by 14 feet, which equals 322 feet when you multiply it. The second one is 12 feet by 15 feet, which equals 180 feet. So what that gives me is a total of 502 feet, and I'm totally fine with that. That's okay. It's within the realm of margin. It's okay to be just a couple feet over. You just can't be like 10 or 20 feet over. Once you have your squares fixed like this, I'm going to take away this middle part. So again, I'm going to mouse over. I'm going to select it and I'm going to hold the Shift key and I'm going to bring that wall back. So now I can really see the space that I'm working with. So now I'm going to think about how I'm going to break this space up, and hopefully you've been thinking about that a little bit before you started. A natural way to think about breaking up the space is to think about where I might want the bedroom and bathroom to be and whether or not I want those things to be accessible to the rest of the living room and kitchen, because you have to think a little bit about whether or not you might have people coming over to visit, and do you want them to walk through your bedroom to get to the bathroom and so forth. So there's some flow things that you have to think about. I think a natural place for the bedroom and bathroom to be would either be to make a wall that sectioned off this part for the bedroom and bathroom or this part for the bedroom and bathroom. And I think I'm going to use this part here because I'm actually thinking that maybe this area here could be a deck. I'm going to go to my template section here. I'm going to go down to the inside walls and I'm going to grab one of those. I'm going to hit Command C and then go back up to my template, Command V. I'm going to put in one of those walls. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here. Again, I'm going to make this wall a little shorter, hold the Shift key and bring it in. Maybe right here, I'm going to make a hallway. So you have to think a little bit about how big you want that hallway to be. Now remember, you have to get a person through there or sometimes a wheelchair. So you might be carrying things. I like to make hallways about 3.5 to 4 feet. I'll start off with 4 feet for this one, and then as I go to put in the bathroom, I'll see whether or not that's a good alternative or not. So here you can see I've started to put together my house. I had to make a few little modifications to the bathroom. I brought it out an extra foot and made the hallway smaller because I thought that the bathroom needed a little bit more space and 3 feet is okay for a hallway. I've also gone in and I've added sliding doors from the main living area and also from the bedroom because I want to put a deck out here. And then I thought it might be nice to also put a window perhaps higher up that would bring light into this hallway. And then I also thought that this is where I'm going to put the shower. So I might put another window in the shower up high so it wouldn't get wet or anything. It would help to bring the light from the outside coming in here also into the bathroom. I could also add a skylight or something in the bathroom if I wanted to. I just wanted to show you how I was going to go about constructing the shower itself, then making the sink area. I also added a pocket door here on the guest and main area side so that someone wouldn't have to walk into the bedroom in order to access the bathroom. They could come in this side. And instead of doing a pocket wall here, because I'm going to need to be able to put plumbing for the shower in this wall here. Instead, I decided that here I should probably do something called a barn door, which is really nothing more than a door that hangs on a slider at the top and slides over the opening. It's really not terribly private if you're using the bathroom. In the bedroom situation here, chances are is you're probably going to leave it open all the time anyway, but you could close it off if you wanted to block the view into the bedroom. So I just wanted to show you quickly how to do that since I didn't include it in the template. And so what you can do is click one of your side walls here, make a copy of it, Command C, Command V. Obviously, a door is going to be a little bit thinner than the wall. Typically, doors are only about 3/4 of an inch thick. What I'm going to do here is go to the line weight, and I'm going to click 3 would probably work. You can see here that the opening for the barn door is 3 feet. I am going to make this door 3 feet so that when it slides over that opening, it covers it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to hold that Shift key. I'm going to put it back, and the barn door hangs in front of the opening, but when we show it on the floor plan, we kind of show it a little bit off to the side so that this would slide across. Now I'm going to make the shower area. In order to do that, I'm actually going to take that same skinny line and I'm going to say Command C, Command V, and make a copy of it. I'm also going to flip it so that it's 90 degrees. And my shower is going to be 4 feet wide by the width of the overall bathroom. So I'm just going to pull that line down, again holding the Shift key so it keeps straight. I'm just going to slide it into place a little bit. Now I'm going to make it thinner because obviously it's not the thickness of the wall. So I'm going to make that thinner. I'm going to make it about 3 points, about the same size as the other wall. This kind of indicates where the shower would be. Notice here that I copied and pasted the shower stall from the template window. I'm going to modify this now so that I can just use the shower part. And to do that, I'm going to zoom in. So Option Command plus sign. I'm going to edit this so that it's only showing the shower part. And so to edit any image in Google Slides or Google Drawing, you double click on the inside until you get these handles here. Then you can grab these handles, cropping the area you want to use. Now I'm going to crop it so that I only get the handles. And here I'm going to hit enter. Now I'm going to put that into position so that it indicates where the shower head would be. The shower could have a shower door in it. It could have a slider shower door. It could just have a shower curtain. It's up to you what you want to do. Now I want to take my view and go farther away. So I'm going to go Option Command and I'm going to hit the minus button. And that's going to bring me back to a view where I can see the whole thing. Now I'm going to bring a sink in. I'm going to click the template. I'm going to click a sink here. You'll see that both of them come together, and that's okay because I can always crop them. So I'm going to say Command C. I'm going to go back over to my template, Command V. I'm going to flip this 90 degrees because I want the sink to be on its side. I'm going to pick which sink I think should go in there. I think it's maybe this longer one. So I'm going to edit this image. So I'm going to double click inside this a little smaller, hit enter. I'm going to flip this because I actually want it to be facing the other direction. So I'm going to put it right in here. This sink could be a pedestal sink. If I wanted to and I wanted to make it a vanity, I could come over here to my shapes and I could click a rectangle, make a little rectangle here. You can see that it covers up the sink. I don't want it to do that. To change that, I simply have to go to Arrange, Order, Send to Back, and then it'll bring that vanity back up. And so here, or bring the sink part up, here you have a vanity with a sink in it. So this is an example of how you can use the templates to start to create your house. And then I'll go on and I'll do the kitchen and the living room over here, and I might even go in and add in the deck. So here's my finished house, and I've added in all the furniture and a fireplace and a front door. I also added the deck on here so that it's a little bit more obvious why the sliders are here. This right here is a little step down. It's a 1 foot tread. Because we're building on a 1 foot pad, you do need a step to get down to the ground. This is called the run, the 1 foot wide plank that you actually step on, and the rise would be 6 inches because half of 1 foot high would be 6 inches. What you'll see here is that the entrance is right in this area. I could even add a little corner step up on this side too. This is my final house. Just one other thing I wanted to show you was if I needed to move all this, you can kind of see how it's kind of squished into the corner of the paper. And if I wanted to print this out, there might be a chance that this part here wouldn't print. All I have to do is take my cursor and drag it. I can select the whole thing and then move the pieces over, but be kind of careful. And I can put them into position. And then I can let go and everything is exactly where it needs to be. The important thing is that you select all of it. So good luck with your house. Can't wait to see them.